What up, beautiful people? It is your hunger miss Shameless. We are back for a Shameless Sunday. She's late in the game, but guess what? I just got off a flight. I was in New York for BeautyCon for the weekend. I wanted to do it this morning, but I had a meet and greet. I wanted to do it yesterday, but I was speaking on a panel. Blah, 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 blah. But you can tune into my Snapchat to see all the behind the scenes, or you can tune in on Tuesdays where I upload my vlogs alternating with my tech videos. But yeah, things are happening. I gotta ease into these things. But speaking of Shameless Sunday, last week, reading your comments, you guys, there's something comforting to know that you're not the only one feeling these feelings. It's like reading the comments, and I'm sure you guys would know, knowing that you're not in this boat alone, like other people feel the same thing that you're feeling is validating. So I just want to thank you guys for commenting in the comments, and it doesn't just help me, but it helps other people reading them. So keep doing what you're doing, because you're not only inspiring me, but you're inspiring the next person. Snowball. But this video, I had mentioned in a previous video, I wanted to talk about sacrifice. And while I was in New York, I was on a podcast called The Friend Zone. I'm partial to say that this is one of my favorite podcasts because my homegirl, Hey Fran Hey, is one of the hosts. It's her along with Dustin and Asante, and it releases every Wednesday morning. So if you aren't already subscribed, click the link in the description box. But I was on their channel talking about sacrifice, specifically celibacy. I don't know how this happened, but I have turned into this poster child for celibacy on other platforms. Everyone wants to interview me and ask me about my celibate life. But that's not kind of what I want it to be known as, but I will take it. Really and truly, what that to me is all about sacrifice. And on my whole journey of faith, I read a lot of self-help books. And this one here, the Bible, took me 5 years to read, and I still have to read it again and again and study it. I just find it fascinating, okay? So that's just that. And P.S., you guys do not have to be Christian or any specific belief or religion to watch these videos. These videos are for anyone. So if you're not of any faith or don't believe in anything, you are more than welcome to watch these videos. FYI. But backtracking. When I was reading the Bible, the Old Testament, it's very much like, what the heck? Y'all talking about sacrificing a whole lot. Like your firstborn, your lambs, your white spotless lamb, blah, 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 blah. But the message that I got from that was sacrifice. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. Okay. When I read books, I like to reflect and say, how does this apply to my situation? And at the time, this must have been almost 3 years ago, I was reading this and being like, I don't know what I've sacrificed. Seriously said, here, God. Actually, no, I do know. Before I sacrificed my sexuality, my pokes, my goodies, I actually treated my hair as a sacrifice. A lot of you guys know I shaved off all my hair. To me, that was a sacrifice, and that was a conversation I had with God, and I was like, whatever, you don't need to know because it's between me and Big G up above. But this whole concept of sacrifice is something they don't really talk to us about. I feel like they talk about it during Lent, like sacrifice chocolate, sacrifice this, that, and the third. But it's beyond that. It's not about a time of the year. It's about something that you feel in your heart of hearts. You have this goal and you don't have that goal, and you're not moving that much closer to it. You're still kind of stuck. You've plateaued. You haven't gotten there, and you're trying to figure out, how do I get from here to there? And what am I not doing? That's at least the questions that I asked myself. And, let me just private that. I realized through my readings and looking at my life, I was like, girl, you are having a lot of fun. You are having a lot of distractions with these boys in your life, and you could continue that road, and be distracted from your goal, or you can sacrifice this thing that gives you so much pleasure and so much distractions from the real issue, and not achieve that, or just get there a lot slower than where you're at now. So I decided to sacrifice sex. Pardon me, my ears are still clogged from the flight. So I've done that, and I remember like 3 months in, and this is how it went down, backtracking, I was like, yo, God, if I sacrifice this, could you please just hook me up? Could you please just hook a sister up? I will sacrifice this. Just do me this one solid. Life happened, went about my life, doing what I'm doing, and all these things started to happen. I started to work with Prince. I booked my first major brand deal, and all these things kind of came to a head. And I just remember depositing one of my checks at the bank and getting my statement out. I was like, I have never seen this much money in my life. And I was just like, what the heck is happening? And I remember walking home and getting home, and I'm like, I made a deal with God 3 months ago, and I think it worked. The point of this is, it happened to me. And my friends have been challenging themselves and taking up this whole sacrifice thing, and it's working out for them. Now, my point is, it could be sex for you. I don't know what that sacrifice is for you, but I think it's case to case, and I think it's a conversation that you have to have. And for me, that was the distraction. And I think it's the distraction in your life, whether that's alcohol, whether that's weed, drugs, people, boys, girls, whatever that distraction is, I challenge you to sacrifice it. I'm big on challenges and social media experiments because you're just testing something out to see if it works. Why not? So that's what I did. Now, if we just look at life as is, there's a goal. And life is all about sacrifices. We may not look at it like that, but it's all about priorities. What are you prioritizing? And in order to get this, you have to sacrifice that. In order to get that, you have to sacrifice this. My mom made so many sacrifices in her life just so I could have this life. And I'm so grateful. Our parents, at least my parents, my mom specifically, sacrificed so much so I could have this life. And for that, I am forever grateful. For creatives, for people that are passionate and go with the flow, you cannot do everything at once. No matter what anyone tells you, you can't do it all at once. You can do a lot, but you can only do one thing at a time. And this was a very hard concept for me to grasp. But I know the importance of goal setting and prioritizing. So the concept of sacrifice and priorities is something that comes, I think, with age. And when you start to look at your life critically and reflecting on, why am I not here? You can start to evaluate, I need to make some changes. So I encourage you guys to make some sacrifices. Now, because the comments were so lit last week, I want you guys to comment below and let me know what your goals are, and let me know what you're struggling with to achieve that goal. And the concept of sacrifice to me is all about giving up something so you can make room for something even bigger. And I would love to encourage you guys to sacrifice something, especially when it comes to distractions. And you know what? You're better off without it. Trust and believe. It might feel super naked, but what you get out of it. And I don't know, I challenge you. I challenge you to sacrifice something. And don't put a time limit on it. Just say, you know what, God, whether you believe in God or not, or universe or energy or love, have that conversation with your inner voice and just be like, I want to give this up. And I hope that I can achieve this. And I'm willing to put in the work, and I'm willing to give up this thing that's been holding me back. Just try it out and let me know how it goes. Or if there's something in the past that you have had to sacrifice to get something. But it's major. And I'm at a point actually right now because I sacrificed, a few things, and then I got a lot more. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, girl, you've plateaued yet again. So what are you willing to sacrifice to get to that next level? And I'm constantly pushing myself. So for me, creating projects beyond YouTube, in order to get there, I have to sacrifice something. So I'm gonna make some sacrifices, especially here. I'm gonna sacrifice the fact that I love going ham and editing on my videos. I'm gonna sacrifice that, something that I thoroughly enjoy doing with my team, to do that on projects outside of YouTube in order to get to that goal. I had a full-blown conversation on the Friend Zone about sacrifice on celibacy specifically, and the conversation's like an hour and a half, so it's not chopped down for YouTube. It's just a long-winded conversation that I think a lot of you guys will appreciate, so make sure you guys check out the link in the description box. That will go live on Wednesday. And yeah, thank you guys so much for bearing with me. But follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that fun stuff to stay in touch with me on what's happening. I had a meet and greet today, so yeah, for things like that, you just never know where I'm going to be on any given day. So yeah, peep me there. And until next time, remember to do you, boo. Be shameless. Team Shameless.